You know how much money I used to spend hauling home bags of compost every spring, loading them into the car, stacking them up, breaking my back carrying them out to the beds one heavy sack at a time. Every single year, same thing, and it weren't cheap neither. Well, I'm here to tell you, I have not bought a single bag of the stuff in years now. Not one. 'Cause I finally learned a trick so simple, so downright lazy, I'm near about embarrassed to even call it gardening. And it builds richer, blacker soil than any bag you'll ever buy at the store. So before you go spending another dime on compost, let me show you exactly how I do it. Now first, let me point out something kind of funny, 'cause once you see it, you can't unsee it. Folks are out there hauling bags of compost home from the store, and at the very same time, they're throwing the exact same stuff right into the garbage can. Think about it a second. That banana peel, them coffee grounds from your morning pot, the carrot tops, the apple cores, all the veggie scraps off your cutting board, and all them leaves you rake up and bag come fall. Every bit of that right there is compost. That's the richest soil food there is, and you're paying the garbage man to haul it off, then turning right around and paying the store to buy it back. It's a little bit crazy when you put it that way, ain't it? So the whole trick here is just this. Quit throwing it away and let it turn into soil instead. And the lazy way I'm about to show you, you don't even need a bin or a pile or hardly anything at all. So here's the trick, and it's got itself a fancy name. Folks call it trench composting, but I just call it dig and drop, 'cause that is all there is to it. You ready? You go out to your garden bed and you dig a hole. That's it. That's step one. You dig a hole, you dump your kitchen scraps right down in it, and you bury 'em back over with the dirt. And then, here's the lazy part, you walk away. You just leave it be. No bin to go by, no pile to build, no turning, no fussing, no checking up on it. Down in that soil, the worms and all them little microbes, they find your scraps and they get right to work, breaking it all down in place, right there in the ground. And a few weeks, a couple months later, it's gone. Turned into rich, dark, crumbly soil, right exactly where your plant roots are fixing to grow. And here's the real beauty of it. Buried down under all that dirt, there's no smell at all, and nothing comes sniffing or digging after it. It just quietly cooks away underground while you're off doing something else entirely. Slick as can be. Now let me give you the couple little details that make it work good. First off, dig your hole a decent bit deep. I like to go down about a foot, but 8 inches will get you by. You want plenty of dirt to pile back on top, at least a good 8 inches of soil covering up them scraps, 'cause that's what keeps the smell down and the critters out. Dump your scraps on in, and if you chop 'em up a little smaller first, they'll break down quicker, but that's optional. I don't always bother myself. Cover it back over, pat it down, and you're done. Next time you got a bucket of scraps, you just dig your next hole a foot or so over from the last one, and you keep on moving down the row. Some folks will pick a whole empty bed and trench their scraps all through it over the winter, and come spring, wouldn't you know it, that's the richest bed they got, and they plant right into it. Now, timeline-wise, in the warm months it breaks down fast, few weeks to a month or two. In the cold of winter it takes a good while longer, kind of just sits there till things warm up again, and that's perfectly fine. Either way, you bury it and you forget it. Now, one thing folks ask, where exactly do I dig these holes if my garden's already full of plants? Good question. You don't want to go chopping right through the roots of something that's growing. So you dig in the open spots, between your rows, in the pathways, in a bed that's resting for the season, or in a fresh bed you're getting ready for next year. And here's a little timing tip. If you bury scraps and you want to plant right on that same spot, give it a few weeks to a month first so the scraps have started breaking down. You plant right on top of fresh scraps too soon, and they can rob a little nitrogen from your seedlings while they rot. But give it that little head start, and by the time them roots reach down there, it's pure food waiting for 'em. Okay, so what exactly can you put down in that hole? Well, just about any scrap that came from a plant. Your fruit and veggie peels, the cores, the cuttings, coffee grounds, paper filter and all, tea bags, crushed up eggshells, stale bread, spent plants pulled out of the garden, grass clippings, chopped up leaves, all of it, right in the hole. Now a few things you do want to keep out. No meat, no bones, no dairy, and no greasy or oily food scraps, 'cause that's the stuff that turns rancid and draws in the rats and the raccoons, even buried down deep. You keep it to plant scraps, and you're safe as can be. Skip any plants that were sickly or diseased, and don't you go burying weeds that have gone to seed, or you'll be growing a weed patch right there. But honest to goodness, for your everyday kitchen scraps, it is about the most forgiving thing in all of gardening. When in doubt, if it grew, you can bury it. Now I can just about hear the questions coming, so let me put your mind at ease on a few. Won't it stink up my yard? Nope. Buried down under 8 inches of dirt, you won't smell a thing. That's the whole trick of dig and drop. Won't it draw rats and possums? Long as you keep the meat and grease out and bury it good and deep, no, they'll leave it be. Do I need to buy worms or a special starter or any of that? Not a lick of it. The worms and the microbes are already down in your soil, and I promise you, they'll find them scraps on their own. They always do. You don't got to do a thing but dig the hole and let 'em come to dinner. Hey, quick one. If you're liking this and you want to quit wasting money out in the garden, tap that subscribe button down there for an old fella. I put out easy, penny-pinching garden tricks just like this every single week. Anyhow, now what if you got a whole lot more scraps and leaves than you can dig holes for? Well, don't you worry. I got an even lazier way for you. For that, you just make yourself a pile. The good old-fashioned compost heap. But now, forget every single thing you ever heard about turning it and layering it just so and checking the temperature. We are doing this the lazy way. You pick a corner of the yard, somewheres out of the way, and you just start piling your stuff up. And it's really just 2 kinds of stuff, real simple. You got your greens, that's your wet, fresh stuff, your kitchen scraps and your grass clippings. And you got your browns, that's your dry stuff, your fallen leaves, some ripped up cardboard, a little straw. You want a bit more browns than greens, roughly, so the pile don't go all slimy and stinky on you. Just toss 'em on, greens and browns, however and whenever you got 'em. And then, same as before, you walk away. Don't turn it, don't baby it, don't give it another thought. Just let it sit there and rot away on its own sweet time. And in 6 months to a year, the bottom of that pile is going to be beautiful, finished, crumbly compost, ready for you to scoop out and spread. I mean, think on it. The whole entire forest floor composts itself every year of the world, and there ain't a soul out there turning it. Nature don't need your help. It just needs you to get out of the way and let it work. And here's one more little lazy trick to tuck away, maybe the laziest of the whole bunch. It's called chop and drop. When you got a plant that's all done for the season, or you trim off a mess of leaves and stems. Instead of hauling it all off to the pile, you just chop it up right there where you stand and lay it down on top of the soil, right on the bed, like a mulch. And it rots right down in place, feeds the worms, feeds the dirt, holds the moisture in, all without you ever moving it anywhere at all. The stuff falls, and it feeds the very ground it fell on. That's composting, without even bothering to make compost. Now, it don't get any lazier than that, does it? Now, you might be sitting there wondering, is this homemade stuff really any better than a nice clean bag from the store? And I'm telling you, hand to God it is. See, a bag of compost, that's kind of a dead finished product just sitting there in the plastic. But what you're making here, this is alive. It's full of worms and microbes doing their business right down in your soil, right where the roots need 'em most. It builds up the living richness of your dirt, and not just the one time, but more and more every year you keep it up. And it costs you absolutely nothing but the scraps you were already throwing out anyhow. Now, to make it dead easy on myself, I keep an old pail with a lid on it right there under the kitchen sink. My wife tosses the scraps in it all week long, and when it fills up, I carry it out and bury it. Takes me all of 2 minutes, and that one little habit right there has saved me a small fortune in compost bags over the years. And I mean that. Sit down and add it up sometime. A few bags every spring, year after year, plus the gas hauling it home, that's real money. And it all just goes back to nothing. My grandkids, they've taken to calling it the treasure hole. They love helping me dig it and dump the bucket in, and then a couple months on, I let them dig up that same spot and find all them worms wriggling around in the richest, blackest dirt you ever saw. To them, it's magic. To me, it's just free soil. So that's the whole thing, start to finish. Dig yourself a hole, drop in your scraps, bury it back up, and walk away. And let the worms build you the richest soil you ever grew in, for free. Or pile it up lazy in a corner and forget about it. Or just chop and drop it right where it falls. However you go about it, the point's the same. Quit paying good money for the very stuff you're already throwing in the trash. I promise you, once you start doing this, you will never look at a banana peel the same way again. You'll look at it and you'll see rich soil. Anyway, that's about it, really. Go on and dig yourself a hole this week and give it a try. Take care now, and I'll see you next time.